Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this very exciting video. It's been a long time since we've been able to break down a Firefly Fun House, and I must admit I had a lot of fun with this one. We actually broke it down live during the watch along. I've been able to watch it since the show finished and go frame by frame through it. I've also looked on Twitter to see where the conversation is, and honestly, there was a few people saying that there wasn't much to this. I have to disagree. I think there's actually quite a bit to this. This is why we love the Firefly Fun House, because, to people that just watch it, that don't dig into it that little bit deeper, it might seem like there's not much going on. But if you do dig into it, then as we're about to see, there's plenty to talk about. Let's get to it then, shall we? So first thing we see is the Fun House, and on the table is a box. Now, this caught my eye because normally on the table would be Mercy the Buzzard. Mercy the Buzzard, the box, it's not there. Abby is not in the window. Ramblin' Rabbit is not behind the TV. The puppets are not here. We know that they've been set free, if you will. But it's still surprising to not see them back in the Funhouse when we're in the Funhouse. Instead, we've got that little box on the table. So we would hear someone say, I think they say lie for me. Lie for me. Now that's interesting because, of course, Bray was accused of being a liar and was lying all the time about not wearing a mask and not wanting to be the monster. And Uncle Howdy said, "You're a liar, Bray." And so how interesting that we actually, at the start of this, we're being asked to lie for him, for Bray, seemingly. So I thought that was interesting, an interesting little thing to start with. Then all of a sudden it went red. Now this is obviously a color that's very connected with the Fiend. That box that was on the table has now gone to the door, and the door is open. Now the reason why this is so exciting is Jake Campbell pointed this out. Shout out to Jake. He pointed this out during the watch along, that box is the same box that Alexa Bliss had around WrestleMania time when she was with the Fiend. So WrestleMania 37. So she had this Jack in the Box thing, and there it is. It was on the table. Now it's moved to the door. This is all really important because later in this episode, Bray would ask the question, more importantly, who opened the door? Now, if you didn't notice that the door was closed and then it opened here, when he says who opened the door later on in the episodes, that may be confusing to you. But now we know someone has opened the door. We know that that box is connected to Alexa. This is pretty exciting news. I think this is big. I agree with a lot of the thoughts out there that this very much means that Alexa is now in the Funhouse. She's a part of this world. Last time we saw her, she was pretty broken in a ring at the Royal Rumble. I am very much getting vibes now that Alexa is a part of this. She's in the Funhouse. She's in this world. And honestly, where that leads us, I really don't know. The fact that we're seeing this red light certainly would indicate that, it could be Fiend connected as well. I know that Bray said that the Fiend was dead and the Fiend was done, but that apparently was in character. And at the time, he was still trying to fight away all of these demons and personas. He wasn't embracing them. So for him at that stage, the Fiend would be dead. That I believe his character believed the Fiend was done. If you was to do that interview with him now, it'd be very interesting to see what he said. So yeah, the red light, the box, really cool. We then went over to the TV. You can see the TV here. That was flickering away. And we would then get this, which I think is really interesting. We would hear the phrase, "The beast is rising," right? And then we would go to this. Now, the beast is rising is quite interesting because later we would hear about the dragon with 7 horns and all of that. I wonder if it's a reference to that. Of course, people will look at the beast as being Brock. I don't think it means Brock, to be honest, because rumors are Brock versus Amos. That is the plan for WrestleMania. So Bray talking about Brock in this doesn't make much sense because I think Bray's immediate future is with Bobby. So I think when they're talking about the beast is rising, I think that that is talking about the dragon with 7 horns that's rising out of the sea, and it wears 10 crowns. We're going to come to that in a bit, right? This is what I'm saying. There's so much to talk about. That's why we've got to go step by step. Love this. First of all, that looks to me like it's female arms. Can you see the nail on the little finger? Looks quite long. And like the shape of the nails, like it strikes me as a female hand. If this turns out to be a man's hands, then you know, fair play. Like they look after their nails well, and I would say they've got feminine hands. But this strikes me like they are female hands. So could this be Alexa? Don't know. I'm honestly not 100% on if there's any tattoo markings that would give that away. I did reach out to Alexa Bliss Gamer, who was very helpful in saying that she does have tattoos, but apparently they're white. So don't know if they're going to really show that well here. So again, could it be Alexa? Sure. Could it be just someone random? Sure. But I do think it's interesting that if that is a female, like who would that be? Who would that be? Because we don't see females in the Funhouse other than Alexa. So I thought that was interesting. The other thing I thought was interesting was the fact that the figures were Undertaker versus Undertaker, because that's a match that's been mentioned quite a bit. Because Undertaker versus Undertaker, 1994, obviously Undertaker kind of going up against himself, but not really. They were 2 separate people. And in a way, you know, we've got Bray and Howdy, and there was a lot of people thinking WrestleMania was going to be Bray versus Uncle Howdy, and there was a lot of comparisons to Undertaker versus Undertaker. I just think this is a nice little Easter egg that those are the 2 figures we've got. We could have got any wrestlers there, any wrestlers at all, and we've gone with Undertaker versus Undertaker. That really jumped out to me. So yes, we got this. Then we moved on, and I think this part now we go into a bit of a recap. So we basically see Bray's promo, and here we can see Bray watching his promo and reacting to it. I have seen some theories of people saying that this could be Triple H because he's wearing the leather jacket. I don't think the backwards cap is Triple H. I don't think Triple H, when I see a backwards cap, I actually think this might have just been Bray trying to be the fans. I think they wanted to kind of bring you up to speed with where we are with the story, and they wanted to do it in an entertaining way. So they're basically showing you Bray's promo, but they're trying to do it in an entertaining way. And I think that he's done it as a reaction, like a reaction video, like you would see like loads of people doing, like we do during the watch-alongs and everything. And so Bray is basically reacting to his own promo. And again, in that interview he did where he said the Fiend was dead, he also said that he hates watching himself back. He never watches himself back. He hates it. He always likes to move forwards. And here he is again watching himself back. So if that was a lie, and Bray has been accused of being a liar, right? If that was a lie, then the fact the Fiend is dead could also be a lie. Then we go to this. This is Bobby's promo. Obviously, he said he's not scared of anyone in the locker room. He doesn't want to be disrespected by anyone. Doesn't care who it is. Could be Bray. Could be anyone, blah, blah, blah. This was the promo from Monday. Again, this just feels like a way of recapping the story. So Bray said he wanted to face the winner. Bobby won. On Monday, he cut a promo. Now we're just kind of being brought up to speed. So this middle part of it doesn't really feel too, like, you know, Easter egg heavy. I do love the little Raw that's been drawn, though. They easily could have got the Raw logo, but again, it fits the Funhouse theme to have that draw. I think that's really cool. Then we got Firefly Funhouse news. Now, this is interesting because he says bleep is not okay here, right? So swear word gets bleeped out. He says there's a dragon that's rising out of the sea with 7 horns and 10 crowns. And he said, he talks about blasphemy. Now, this immediately jumped out to me because it's all very specific. Like, why would you just say these things? So it jumped out to me. It jumped out to a lot of other people. And it is actually from the Bible. It's from Revelation 13:1. The dragon stood on the shore of the sea. I saw the beast coming out of the sea. It had 10 horns, 7 heads, with 10 crowns on its horns, and on each head a blasphemous name. So that has come out of the Bible. It is a Bible reference. And I think that's the beast that he refers to earlier. So something is rising, right? Now, it might have lots of heads and lots of crowns. Like, is he teasing the arrival of the Wyatt Six? Could it be that? Could it be that the Wyatt Six is on the way? Or could it be just a new monster is on the way? And of course, that could tie in with Alexa and what we saw earlier. So again, you know, this idea that, oh, there's not much in here. I think there is quite a bit in here, to be honest. So we got that. He also said, more importantly, who opened the door. So he wanted to draw your attention to that door being opened earlier. He says, like, not only have we got this beast issue, but who opened the door? Then we go over to the weather with Uncle Howdy. In the background, look, we can see Indiana, Kentucky, Illinois. I don't know if that's important. Like, again, you have to question all of this stuff because you could put anything on this map. They could have put anything on there, but they've gone Kentucky, Indiana, Illinois. Does that mean anything? Like, are there any big shows that are going to be in those areas? Could it be an indication as to where this new monster is going to arrive? I don't know, to be honest, but I thought I would point it out because someone might find a pattern in there. Then, so we heard from Uncle Howdy, and I didn't really get this, to be honest, because he said, I am all of us, which is really interesting, but he didn't do it in his howdy voice. He did it in like a computer voice, as if like, it was sort of like they couldn't get Bo to do like Uncle Howdy this week, so Bo wasn't going to say the line, so instead they used a computer voice. I'm sure there's more meaning to it than that, and someone in the watch-along chat said it reminded them a bit of Kane when he used to use the voice box, the external voice box. So could it be a reference to that? Maybe. I couldn't quite get my head around this one. I don't know why Howdy. We've already seen Howdy. So unless this is a different Howdy, unless this is a different person, like, why would you hide his face? We've seen his face. Why would you hide his voice? We've heard his voice. So why would you do this? Why would you do this? Doesn't make any sense. Unless this is a different person. Unless this is going to prove to be not Bo. And it's going to prove to be like another Howdy. Like, maybe there's multiple Howdys. I don't know. That one's a tricky one. That one really is a tricky one. I can't explain as to why they would hide his face and hide his voice. Then we've got Can You Keep a Secret in the background. Yes, no, maybe, as the wheels spun. Apparently, this is America's favorite game show. And we would get Bray. So Bray was on it. One of the things that caught my eye was his shirt. We know how Dantes Inferno has been used as imagery for Bray's shirts before. This doesn't look the same to me. And I can't find this picture. So if you know about this, I feel like it's going to maybe be something out of the Bible, or it's going to be something from Dantes Inferno, just something different. But again, could that be some kind of clue that we haven't quite found yet? I didn't even know what to search for. I mean, I didn't really want to Google decapitated heads. So as I said, for me, it's probably another Dantes Inferno reference, but I'm not 100% on that. So Bray would basically say, well, can you keep a secret? We then get this emergency broadcast system. Now, I found this really interesting because they could have made their own emergency broadcast system, you know, with like Funhouse themed and the puppets on and all that kind of stuff. But instead, this one felt like it was old and it had actually been used. I have Google searched it and I can find this just in like packs, you know, if you want to like use it for a video project. So this might actually not be anything, right? I did wonder if like during some sort of fake alarm in Hawaii or something back in the 60s, you know, when they thought, like, during the Cold War that there was going to be, like, you know, a missile crisis or something like this. Did they actually use this actual graphic? Because it does feel genuine and it does look old. And I don't understand why you wouldn't just make a Firefly Funhouse themed one. But I can't find anything on this. And what I could find is that I found this graphic as like one you could buy and use for video projects. So I think it's probably just like stock footage. But again, it might be connected to something that I just haven't found yet. Then we went over to this. Now, this is interesting because obviously we've got this in the doorway and the chair would flicker and the table would flicker as well, as like they would show the different images. I think the reason why it does that is because I think this thing in the doorway is a green screen. And I think what they've done is they've took the green away to put the images on, not realizing that there's a little bit of green on the table and there's a bit of green maybe in the throw. And so as a result, it's took the green away from there. And so that's why they're flickering. I think it's just an editing like issue, to be honest. I don't think the chair flickering and the table flickering is like got any meaning to it. I think it was just because of it being a green screen, having used green screens. I know the kind of problems you can encounter. The imagery is all imagery we've seen before. We've seen this image before as well. This has been seen many times. But basically, we got voices. We got, can you keep a secret? Can you see the sea? I'm sure he says, can you see the sea? Which again, just sort of makes me think about that monster that's coming out of the sea. It's just a reference back to that. Here we could hear a woman's voice saying, get away from me. We could hear Ramblin' Rabbit pleading as well. Clearly, there's some turmoil going on. Whatever is beyond that door, whatever is in that realm, there is turmoil. There is things going on. There is resistance. And people saying, like, could that be Alexa's voice? Maybe. It didn't sound like Alexa to me. It could have been. Maybe they wanted you to think it was. Maybe it was. It didn't. I can't say I heard it, and I listened to it a few times and went, yes, that's Alexa. It didn't sound a million miles away. It's just, it didn't sound exactly like Alexa to me. But either way, like, there's turmoil going on in there. And then we went to our final bit, which was this. Now, this mask does look black to me. Obviously, red light is very interesting. Makes you think Fiend. Then we've got Bray in a mask. He said, if I told you a story, could you keep a secret? And then it ended. So I know a lot of people are going to ask the question, what does he mean by that? Obviously, we don't know. It feels like this really feels significant. And it really feels to me like because of the Alexa link and us not seeing Alexa and the female hands, the fact that who opened the door, what is this beast that is risen out of the sea? All of this really points towards someone arriving, some new creature, some new character arriving, and it feels like it's connected to Alexa. And so this, if I tell you a story, could you keep a secret? That obviously feels like it's going to be maybe the story of this character and how it came to be and why they've maybe gone after Alexa again and things along those lines. So, yeah, that's what I took from it. Near 20-minute breakdown video. I hope you enjoyed it. Good. Well done if you stuck with us for this long. Really appreciate it. If you've got any other thoughts or things that we've missed, feel free to put it into the comments. But I think that was a fairly comprehensive breakdown. Really enjoyed it. Hope you did as well. Great to have the Funhouse back. Hopefully we get another one again very soon. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye for now.